Hey, Gigi Beret here to share a very smart idea I've learned about making latkes. Hanukkah's right around the corner, and in our household we like to make potato pancakes called latkes. Some people call them latkes around this time, but you certainly don't have to celebrate Hanukkah to be able to enjoy a yummy, luscious potato pancake. I've been making them for many, many years, mostly with my three boys as they've been growing up. But now that they're all out of the house, I still love to make them for my husband and I. The version that I make is very brown and crispy on the outside and luscious and tender on the inside. Over the years, I've made lots of individual latkes or latkes. How do you say it, by the way? Let me know. And what I have found is I've really enjoyed making one giant latke lately. A lot less grease, a lot less hassle, and pretty easy to do. So I'd like to share that recipe with you today. So what we have here are 3 russet potatoes, and they've been peeled and they have been grated in using a box grater and the large holes. And I like to do this versus using a food processor because it just, to me, it makes the perfect consistency of potato. I made these yesterday and I kept them in a bowl of cold water to keep them fresh in the refrigerator. And then what I did was I squeezed out as much water as possible. And that's really important because you want a nice dry, or as dry as possible, potato mixture so that your potatoes will brown evenly. Then what I did was I took a small onion and using the same box grater, I grated it up. And it's funny, I tried this recipe a couple of times over the years, and no matter how hard I try, I always get about a half a cup of these onions. The reason I like doing the onions using the box grater as well is because it produces a little bit of onion juice. That just adds a nice consistency, just a tiny bit of moisture that you're not getting from the potatoes, but you are getting and adding flavor as well. I have 1 egg. I have 2 tablespoons of matzah meal, but you can use breadcrumbs, seasoned breadcrumbs, or all-purpose flour. And I have some pepper and then some kosher salt. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the egg. I'm gonna crack the egg right into the matzah meal. We're gonna add a little bit of pepper, about 1/4 teaspoon, and about a nice good pinch of the salt. And we're gonna whisk this together gently. So it makes a little bit of a paste. I'll show you this in just a second. Like that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the potatoes to a large bowl. And we are going to add the mixture into the bowl. And then we're gonna add the onions. Plop. And then I'm gonna do something a little unconventional. Maybe you guys do the same thing at home. I'm gonna use my hands. It just adds a nice consistency. Makes sure that everything gets mixed up. It's just easier too. Oh, it smells really good. That onion is so yummy. So you'll see it's not a very floury consistency. It's just a nice, simple consistency that's enough to hold the potatoes together. So you just finish mixing that up. And what you have is a really nice consistency. There's not too much flour, there's not too much egg. You might feel like you should add a little more flour or egg, but it's not necessary. The grated onion does a good job at holding everything together with the matzah or the flour. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna heat up a pan. I like to use cast iron for these. It gives it a nice uniform brownness on the bottom. And to it, I'm gonna add some avocado oil. You can use vegetable oil as well. Any oil really that won't burn quickly on high heat. And then what I'm going to do is warm this up for about 5 minutes over medium heat, and then I'm gonna carefully spoon the potato mixture into the cast iron pan. And I'll show you that in just a few minutes. So it's been about 5 minutes and the potato pancake has been in the cast iron pan. So I'm gonna take this off, it's hot, show you what it looks like. As you can see, the edges have started to brown and the potato pancake itself has started to separate from the edge of the pan. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to prep it to be broiled. And do your favor, by the way, do yourself a favor and do your best not to monkey with it, because we want to make sure that the potato pancake is completely intact when we go to flip it. So I have some oil here. Again, I'm using avocado oil. You can use really any oil that you want. You want to make sure that it's not going to start on fire or smoke too heavily under the broiler. And then I'm just going to put a little bit more salt on here, a little bit, about a quarter teaspoon. And we're going to pop this under the broiler, under medium, about 400, 450, for about 5 minutes. Sometimes it can take a little longer. I like to watch it after about the 5-minute mark to be sure that it gets nice and brown, but not too brown. Stay tuned. Well, here's the final product. Just pulled this out of the oven. The top is nice and brown and crispy, and the bottom should be, hopefully, a little bit even more brown than this. And what you'll do from here is flip this onto a pretty platter. So here's what it looks like when I pulled it out of the pan itself. I just popped it onto a board and put it onto the plate. And as I mentioned, you can garnish it with all sorts of things. Chopped scallion. You can serve sour cream or applesauce, depending on what your penchant is, alongside. And there you have it. One giant latke. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.